Big reveals yesterday coming out, a ton of stuff to get into. We have the developer panel. Finally, basically, this was the thing that they typically did. You know, Blizzard would come out, reveal the cinematic, and then come out and actually tell us about the expansion. This time around, we got the cinematic, and then we had to wait a couple days to figure out what the hell was going on. Well, we got a ton of stuff here. So first off, watching the news? No, you're not. You're watching the next big giveaway. That's right. I'm giving away an epic edition of Midnight. All you have to do to enter into my giveaway is get into the stream. 1 hour of stream will give you 1 point to enter to the giveaway. Watching this shitty stream is all it's going to take. I'm live 5 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Get in here, watch some stream, get yourself some Trader's Tenders, some pets, some mounts, and all the other cool early access features that'll come with the Midnight Epic Edition. Again, being a follower is all you got to do, and watching the stream. If you're a subscriber, you'll get a couple extra entries, but not required. You'll get all the mounts, the game time, the toys, and early access to the expansion, housing access, everything else. It's going to be a good one, boys. Midnight's here. WoW is back. The hype is real. Get in here, watch the stream, get your point, and every hour beyond that, another point to enter into the giveaway, giving yourself the best shot possible. The giveaway ends September 19th. You got a month to gather as many points as you can to enter in and get yourself the epic edition of Midnight. Buckle up, boys. It's going to be a good one. Game director Ian Hezekosis and lead game designer Maria Hamilton talked in a panel about upcoming Midnight features. Ian has recapped the story, which we'll get into later. So far, starting with the War Within, where we've heard mysterious whispers that lead us to Kaz Algar, up to the point where Xal'atath turned against us after we defeated Demancius, only to become one of the most powerful beings the cosmos has ever known. Also, she's very powerful. She has very powerful and valuable feat picks. Don't forget that. In Midnight, Xal'atath wants to launch an assault that will plunge our world into eternal darkness unless we do something about it. Now, one interesting thing about Xal'atath, at the end, she keeps talking about claiming what is rightfully hers. What is it? Does she claim that this planet is rightfully hers? Does she claim that I am rightfully hers? I sure hope so, because I would love to be part of her player housing unit, if you know what I mean. Our allies in Midnight include Turelion, Illyria, and Eretor, and that's right, Eretor gets a brand new model. As we discussed before, full-on tattoos, full side cut. I mean, Erahor, whatever you want to call him, he's ready to go, and he has a badass, looks like a variation on the Judgment set. This is a really cool looking set for him. Also, notice something else. He's like a foot taller, 2 feet taller than his parents. I mean, what the hell? This is Turelion and Illyria. I mean, they're both well, you know, they got decent height, and then Eretor comes in, and he's like Giga Chad, Giga Chin, Giga Height. And Eretor's ready to do some things. So, a cool new male character model and everything, and this looks really nice. I'm excited to see what happens with Eretor's story. He's got a pretty cool background. Liadrin has summoned the Army of Light in the cinematic trailer, so it's confirmed that it was the Army of Light. Where's this Army of Light coming from? How did they arrive? Interesting. So they did talk about it in a panel. I did hear about this in passing. Remember, I had a whole theory that it was the Arathi coming to save the day. Evidently, it's the Army of Light. Now, where the Army of Light came from, I have no idea. But I guess there was a way that they got summoned, or they heeded the call, and it's a bunch of player characters, part of the Army of Light, coming to save the day. She'll be very important in the Void. Okay, Orwena will teach us about her people and what their interests are in their culture. So we're getting the new Haranir race, obviously. So we're going to deal more with Orwena and her crazy dances and all that shit. I'm not a big fan of the entirety of the Haranir so far. I mean, whatever they are at the end of the day, however they contribute to the story, that's fine. I wouldn't have minded getting them as a playable race in the War Within. That would have been fine with me. And then maybe we get Ethereals and Amani Trolls in this expansion. But for whatever reason, they pushed it off into Midnight, and now we're going to get them here. I still have fingers crossed and every other appendage crossed, including some, sacrilegious appendages down below, that we are actually going to get some form of Amani Trolls or Ethereals playable by the end of Midnight. I hope it happens. I just think it would be such a letdown if we just get Haranir and nothing else out of it. We got all these new ethereal models. We got new Amani Troll models we're going to look at here in a second. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. So hopefully we'll get it. We did get a playable race, the Earthen. I know. Yeah, another great. Wow, like what a game changer that was. Yeah, tall dwarfs, fantastic. Okay, Magister Umbric is trying to pull his people together to contribute to the efforts. So We got some more involvement here from the Void Elves. That makes sense. Totally saw that coming. Illyria and her people doing more and more here in this expansion. We will also meet Zul'jara and Zul'Jan, the grandchildren of Zul'jin. Okay, this is cool. Zul'jin was a badass. Some cool lore here. They will give us the opportunity to experience the Amani culture, not as enemies this time. So there you go. I'll tell a little bit about these new troll models. I think we're gonna we get another image of them here in a second. But are these orcs? I'm not sure what's going on here. They look like orc bodies with troll heads. This is definitely the female orc model. And this is probably the male orc model just with a troll head on it. So not much in terms of re-rigging of gear if they decide to make these guys playable. This would literally just be Blizzard clicking a button and making these guys play. It'd be a super easy thing for them to do, which is why I think there's still a chance they might do it, but we'll see. Then we've got two main forces, Light versus Void. Extremes on both ends here are problematic. Yeah, I've said this before. I think the Light, obviously, we're going to side with it to fight against the Void, but there's this extreme side of it that we've heard of before, right? Yrel out there in Draenor. We've heard of this Light Emperor on the other side of the world who are their kingdoms filled with Light Zealots and stuff. Like, we'll see how the bad side of the Light ends up coming through. But for now, it looks like we're going full-on Light Force. Blizzard shared some concept art of Blood Elves in Midnight. Hopefully, we'll be able to get our hands on some of this armor. So cool-looking armor concepts here. Obviously, we already have the Blood Elf Heritage armor set, which is a nice armor set, but all this other stuff, we've gotten a lot of these kinds of sets recently in the game, these like peasants-type sets, right, where they're just kind of NPC sets that you can now transmog onto your character. I'm sure we'll be getting some of these via trading posts, via, who knows, what's it called, renown tracks and all that stuff. These are cool-looking sets, so hopefully we get some of these. Eversong and the Ghostlands have been combined into a single zone called Quel'Thalas. Okay, so there we go, no more Ghostlands. It looks like people were wondering what was going to happen with the Ghostlands. We'll see. A peasant's thanks, Sam. Yeah. The Dead Scar has totally healed up and is no longer there. Very cool. I love seeing the world advance in the story. This is I've been asking for this for so long. Also, I've been predicting this for. I'm just going to pat myself on the back. Like I said, go to my YouTube videos and search Silvermoon. It's freaking over a year ago that I said they were going to rebuild Silvermoon into a hub city. Just saying. Prophetic, yes. Handsome, maybe. But you should have listened to me, because I've been saying this for a long time. Maybe you guys will listen to me for my predictions when it comes to The Last Titan. There's an area within Silvermoon that acts as a sanctuary, but the majority of the city will still belong to the Horde, and Alliance will be killed on sight. That's they could try. They could try to kill me, but I'm the most legendary Death Knight that has ever existed, and yes, I play on the Alliance, so perhaps we'll shoot some raids. You know, maybe we'll do some raids on stream of the other parts of Silvermoon, see how long we can survive. That might actually be fun. Everything has been remade into high fidelity now in Silvermoon. We're going to encounter the Amani. They've created an entire zone for them now. Amani are a very proud people. They work very hard for their land. So if you don't know the Amani history, I mean, the Amani trolls served the Zandalari. Originally, these lands were captured by the Zandalari trolls. The Zandalari Empire was massive and expansive. I already know this lore already exists in the game. And the Amani trolls served the Zandalari for a long, long time, and eventually were gifted kind of this land for all of their efforts and work that they put in. So yes, very proud, strong people, obviously, big muscles. These are their new models. Certainly orc models. This is a female orc body, no doubt about it. And this is the male orc body, the hunched over male orc body with a troll head on it. Now, I'm not hating on it. I love the way these look. I mean, the troll heads look great. Absolutely awesome looking stuff. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more custom rigging for them. But if there's any positive that comes out of the fact that they just reused rigging that already exists in the game, is that, like I said before, this would be very easy for Blizzard to put into the game as a playable race. All the armor already fits them. Everything's already set for them. All they literally have to do is click go, and this shit will be live for everybody to play. It's just weird. Like, why? Because it's easy. Let's be honest, because it was easy, actually. It was an easy one for them. Creating new models in the game takes work, first of all, and then if you ever want to make them playable, re-rigging all the armor that currently exists in the game to fit the new body model takes a ton of back-end work. Now, maybe AI can fix that one day and we could just get all these new races and the AI just retroactively puts all the armor on all the race bodies. Maybe that happens, but I don't know if they're there yet. This tells me playable Amani trolls are more likely than not at this point. Because they decided to go this route with orc bodies, This is going to be a very easy one. They need AI because troll shit is garbage. No, I like these. I always thought that Amani trolls were cool. We'll see anyways. You know what's garbage? This. Okay, whatever. The Haranir. Okay, let's talk about that. They fall into lesser status now, talking about the Amani trolls. They lost their touch with the Loa, and being right on the border of and having a lot of conflict with the Blood Elves makes this a little tricky for them. They also have some void problems, yeah, as everybody will. They've rebuilt Zul'Aman. The raid objects still exist, so you will recognize the houses. Okay, cool. So that's pretty cool. Besides that, we met the Haranir early in the War Within, but we are not really sure what they are about. Right, we didn't get much stuff because it seems like Chris Metzen honestly cut them out of the expansion and shoehorned all the stuff about ethereals in there and all that other shit. So, yes, the final patch was at the Rootlands, but it looks like we're getting it in Midnight. They are ancient guardians of the root ways, and they are led by the Council of Elders. They have very direct connections to their goddess, and Orwena has a very strong direct connection with her, which led her to lead her people to go out to the outside world, something they don't tend to do, and they don't really look kindly upon. So, yes, their goddess is the World Soul. It's Azeroth. We already saw Orwena talking with the World Soul. She had that moment. Interesting. Sam loves to teach us. Yes, I'm here to teach the lore for sure. They are unlocked as an allied race in Midnight with a bunch of customization options. So it looks like these guys are going to be customizable on the level of Drakthir, if not more. We already saw this before. When we got Drakthir, there were hundreds of combinations that you could create to make yourself your own customized Drakthir. It looks like these guys are going to be very much the same. Tons of paint changes you could do on these, tons of skin colors, eye colors. The hair looks like it comes in a bunch of varieties, the shoulder spikes, the shoulder hair, all these different variations of versions of these guys will be able to be created, highly customizable. If you like a customizable race, yeah, these guys are going to be excited for you. Shamans will be a class they can be, which is interesting. Druids, one that we certainly saw coming, and a few others we talked about before. Maria said that the Druid forms look awesome, and they will take a bat form when they fly. Very cool, like those little cutscenes that we saw before. This is just an episode of Sam Learns How to Read. It's a Night Elf Zandalari Troll. What is? The Zandalari Trolls? They're bigger. They are muscular. They are not thin. If you're talking about the Amani, yeah, they are very muscular. The body does fit their lore and everything else. You know, you just would like maybe a little bit more customization. The new zone for the Haranir is called Harandar. It's a fungal jungle. All the roots in the world tree world trees converge here. Okay, so that's interesting. The zone has an interesting place called the Rift of Alm. And from there will issue forth creatures that their goddess dreams. Okay, are we talking about Emerald Dream again stuff going on? Because that's what I thought. I mean, that was very Titan-esque. We learned about the Emerald Dream and everything else. But so what is going on here? Sometimes they are horrific and horrible things. Okay? Some members of the Haranir take an oath, give up their connection to the goddess, and serve as wardens of that place, preventing those horrors from attacking. So they're always fighting back against these nightmare creatures, I guess. Harandar features an area called the Den of Echoes, where the Haranir remember their past through paintings. Finally, let's talk Void. Okay, so that's all about the Haranir. Let's get into these new Void creatures. So looking at the... Damn, this guy's pretty tall. Yeah, so this is a human right here, regular human character. There's Zalamami right there, and then we see an ethereal. I didn't realize the ethereals are taller than... I guess I did realize they are pretty tall. We see all these little mobs here, and then ranking up to this big boy here that we actually saw in the guide cinematic, where they kind of talked about a few of the features coming in Midnight. So Void creatures in general are extremely predatory. Their goal is eating anything smaller and weaker than themselves and taking that power. The Dominar are the strongest. I'm guessing that's the big guy here. They are very intelligent and different from the remaining Void forces. They have a hierarchy that developed through conquest, and you will deal with them as one of the stronger representatives of the Void. Xal'atath is part of this group, of course. And then the Void Storm is a mysterious zone formed by the Void. Everything here is hungry. So, Maw 2.0, maybe? Yeah, maybe we're getting the Maw again. So there you go. We got your Void Zone. This zone looks cool, but at the same time, it doesn't look new for some reason. I feel like I've seen this Void Zone before. I don't know why. Maybe it kind of looks like the new raid. Maybe that's what it kind of reminds me of Mana Forge Omega. But yeah, there's a new void zone. It's the final zone in our leveling campaign and everything else. So this zone is becoming powerful, and eating the next thing is about becoming powerful and eating the next thing. Delves are here, so we got delves coming back for all the Gregs of accounting out there. A bunch of delves, 10 new delves to be exact. Wow, I did not know we were getting that many new delves. Okay, I'm all about it. Yeah, delves return. Let's go. Yeah, for sure. A couple of delves will be at outdoor places. Very cool. Where you can use your ground mounts, and they're integrating them into the zone. This is really cool. So we're getting outdoor mountable delves. Wow, so these delves kind of must be somewhat expansive then. So they said ground mounts, not flying mounts, so they're not going to be on the level of the Onaharan Plains. Freaking hated that place, but it's cool. We're going to be able to mount in delves, so there's going to be some nice new structure to delves here, it looks like, or new ways to do delves. There's an 11th Nemesis delve. Okay, that's, I guess, your double question mark boss fight. Our new delve companion is Valera Sanguinar. Didn't see that one coming, actually. Very cool. Yeah, Valera Sanguinar is badass. The last time I remember seeing her in the game was in Zandalar. Right, in Zandalar, back when we were in BFA, she was standing in the capital city. So interesting that we're going to see Valera Sanguinar come back. She's a hottie mommy for sure, and she's still got some of the best armor in the game, no doubt. We have 8 new dungeons coming in Midnight, 4 level up and 4 max dungeons. Okay, so these 4 max dungeons, we got Mayasara Caverns, the Blinding Veil, Void Scar Arena, and the Nexus Point Zenith. So these will eventually work into your Mythic Plus rotation, of course. We've seen that before where they work in the new dungeons into each season, so that'll be cool. Probably get them in sets of 2 and 2. And then we see for the 4 level up, Windrunner Spire, Magister's Terrace, can't wait to go back to that, Murder Row, and Den of Nolinar. Now, Murder Row, that's a place in Silvermoon, so that'll be somewhere, most likely. That dungeon entrance will be in the in somewhere in Silvermoon. That'll be a quick one to get to. Let me move my camera here. Yeah, Den of Nolanark and Murder Row are the last 2 there. So pretty cool. Magister's Terrace has been reimagined. We'll visit some locations that were inaccessible before, along with a balcony overlook of the Sunwell itself. Very cool. Void Scar Arena is a dungeon where you're thrown into the pit and fight bosses. Sounds very much like, if you remember the dungeon inside of Dalaran, what was that one called? The Void Vault or the Arcane Vault? I forgot what that one was called. But yeah, it was basically you stand in the arena and portals open and just boss after boss come in. It was an easy dungeon. It was a quick dungeon. You didn't have a lot of trash to deal with. So maybe this one will be like that. Then we got Murder Row is going to have the Court of Stars uncovered vibe. Okay, Court of Stars was fine. It was a cool looking one. Assault on the Void Hold. Yep, that's what it was. All 8 of the dungeons will be available on Mythic Zero during the preseason period. So we are going to have a Mythic Zero preseason period again. We will learn more about the tragic background of the Windrunner family and Windrunner Spire. And then you got 3 raids available at midnight launch. Very, very cool. So that summarizes basically everything they said here. We also have a few little aside tidbits that maybe weren't mentioned in this little summary. First of all, we're getting more talent points. This was mentioned outside of this whole this whole thing with Ian Hazakostas. This was actually an interview with Paula Kubit, who mentioned that we'll be getting 10 new talent points. Now, the way these talent points are distributed is kind of weird, and what we're going to be getting out of it, I'm not quite sure yet. But this means we're going to get some new, maybe hero talents. The way they're dividing it up is 3 points to your class tree, although no new talents will be added to the tree. And then 3 hero talents, which introduce a brand new line of hero talents. So you will be getting some new talents in your hero talent trees. And then 4 points will be for the specialized tree, where a new apex talent will appear. So your specialization tree, I guess, will have a new talent. 2 will enhance your existing abilities, and 1 will modify an ability entirely. So some reworking of the talent trees. Now, Blizzard keeps digging deeper and deeper to these hero trees too, man. I feel like this is so complicated for them to balance at this point. They're just making a ton of work for them. Sam tries and tries, but never learns to read. Yeah, we're doing our best here. We're doing our best. Hooked on phonics. What can I say? Hero talents and mythic talents. Look, they're clearly giving us more talents because they're going to give us something else to add those into. It looks like it's going to be some hero talents added in, plus these new apex talents that they mentioned here briefly. So we'll see what each new class is. I'm sure we'll be getting each new class what they're going to be as the days go on here and into the next month maybe, and then rebalancing of everything. This is going to lead to more balancing. Obviously, every time they do more talents, it's going to be more and more balancing. Scroll type here, it's about the Void boss. Oh, I have to see what that's about. The tall Void guy looks like Osmosis Jones. Oh my God, that's right, man. What a throwback to that. Yeah, that movie. Okay, and then we have obviously the Void Hunters. Okay, Blizzard released a little teaser here about the Void Hunters and some of their abilities. Let's check this thing out real quick.
A new third Demon Hunter spec is coming to World of Warcraft Midnight. Here's what you need to know. The new spec is called Devourer. Devourers utilize ranged cosmic and void powers to rip soul fragments from their enemies and fuel their spells. As a fast and fluid ranged DPS spec, Devourers find a perfect balance between chaos and control. In your toolkit, you'll find a voidified metamorphosis. The twist is, it now lasts as long as you feed it with souls. The hunt is now void charged, marking targets and unleashing a series of cosmic attacks. Then there's Reap, a sweeping scythe attack that consumes all your soul fragments in one huge burst of damage. You build up, then you cash
Big finisher.
in. Finally, you have Void Ray, a piercing ray of void energy and collapsing star, channeling the death of a star into a huge blast that grows stronger the more you use it during metamorphosis. So stay tuned for more as we close in on the 2026 Midnight launch.
Damn, man. Yeah, some of those abilities look crazy. They're going to be OP. Yeah, I don't doubt it. They're going to be OP. A new meta detected, right? So these guys, remember, are a mid-range class. They're going to kind of sit in that same area that your Drakthir currently do. And yeah, their abilities I'm sure are going to be OP. I mean, they're basically the hero class of this expansion. So they're going to be crazy OP. Yes, they're going to be popping off, and most likely, I agree, they probably will be part of the meta, no doubt about it. Okay, Alliance players kill on sight in the new Horde City. We got some new Silvermoon footage here, so let's check this out real quick. This was from the developer panel.
And this is Silvermoon City. It
glorious.
is enormous.
Look at this thing.
I would say that because it's a hub city, there's a small section
look at the new
of Silvermoon
ships.
that's been set aside as a sanctuary area where Horde and Alliance share that space. But
it's on the level of
Horde,
Suramar.
And, Alliance's kill on site, as you would expect. Essentially, our world building team had a wonderful time. It's all new assets. The city walls are all brand new, all
brand new,
fidelity.
built up from the ground up, just like I said it would be.
Everything has been remade. We've got places you'll recognize. You should feel real nostalgia if you've had any experience
Man,
here.
I can't wait to go here.
We have Murder's Row, which you're going to see a dungeon related to that as well.
Yeah.
But overall, it's the same glorious, wonderful Silvermoon you love, but with much, much better, much more recent fidelity art. And once this stuff gets filled in with our spawning, it's going to look amazing.
Yeah, sure. If they put as many NPCs in here as there were back in Suramar, this city is going to feel so alive. It's going to feel so cool to be there. The architecture, the music, everything. I'm very excited for a hub city Silvermoon. It's basically the quintessential opposite of Dornegal. And I don't hate Dornegal. Dornegal is a cool city. It's a dwarven city, but everything is very square, boxed, boxy. It's very dwarfy. And then now we're going to Silvermoon, where it's all elegant and, curtains and sex dungeons and all kinds of crazy other stuff going on in there. So this is going to be cool. No doubt. I like the Alliance separation in it. Even though I play Alliance, I can appreciate the fact that it's still a Horde city. And like I said, we're going to form a raid and we're going to push our way into the Horde section, see how far we can get in there without spawning hundreds of guards. For the Horde, you're going to roll Horde Blood DK? No, of course not. I'm going to play my human Blood DK like I always have. Okay, first look at the Haranir customization options. We saw this image before. This was the image released. Like I said, tons of customization. No doubt these guys are going to be highly, highly customizable. And there's going to be tons of variety to the way you can make your Haranir look. The new player experience has been streamlined. This is another big one here. So for a smoother game experience, we already knew that Dragonflight was kind of going to be the starting expansion for new players, right? Blizzard already did that. They worked that into the game. The way it's going to work now is, yes, you're going to have your starting zone. You will go to Exile's Reach. We've revamped the leveling experience somewhere for a lot of players. So it was Exile's Reach before. This leveling zone was introduced back in Shadowlands and offered 1 to 10 leveling experience, along with teaching the basics of combat PvE. With Midnight, the leveling zones will be given a revamp with mentions of overall leveling campaigns, the leveling campaign seeing updates. The goal here was to have Exile's Reach campaign flow into the Dragonflight zones. While we are not sure on exact details at this time, players will have much more thorough leveling experience with Exile's Reach campaign. So they want to tell the story. They want to tell the story. And the best part about story mode raid is it looks like they're going to be using it to tell the story. So part of your questing journey will be to story mode the raids of Dragonflight. So you'll do Vault of the Incarnates, Aberrus, and Amir Drasil, the Dream's Hope, via story mode through the questing campaign. So you will kill the bosses, do all the things, learn the story, learn why Iridikron is so angry at the Titans, how we help Xalatath get the Dark Heart, all that stuff, and then go into this expansion. That's a good way, I agree, to kind of lead players into the current storyline. Now, for returning players or players who have already experienced Dragonflight, fear not, you are not left out. There will be a new starting experience that'll take place in the Arathi Highlands, which is pretty cool. I love Arathi lore. That'll give us the opportunity to catch up on the game mechanics and overarching story of WoW. This is optional, an optional tour of the Arathi Highlands that can be done with Jaina or Thrall, two very iconic characters present throughout the many different parts of WoW story. So pretty cool, yeah, an Arathi Highlands quest line that'll level you up and take you into, again, Midnight, Dragonflight, that kind of stuff. So pretty cool. I like this. I think the starting experience to WoW has needed a revamp for quite a while, and I think this seems like a good option in terms of how you lead players into the current storyline and keep them interested in the game without, just throwing them into the middle of Elwyn Forest and God knows what that. Now I got to kill a Gnoll. Oh, wait, now Cataclysm. Oh, shit, there's a Lich King. Okay, that out of order. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this seems like a much better way to do it. And finally, one of the biggest fixes to the game. Vigor's gone. Yes, no longer do you have to vigorously pant on your dragon to get him to fly. Yes, now you can just use your charges. So it looks like we'll get 6 shared charges between Surge and Skyward Ascent. Those charges will probably just, go on cooldown and keep recharging. In the meantime, you will keep flying forward. You will no longer just have to use Vigor constantly to keep yourself going and momentum and everything. Yeah, finally, I agree. I think this is a great change to the game. Vigor was fun for learning how to fly, but sometimes I just want to fly. Okay, I don't want to have to continually build up Vigor, dive, and duck and keep doing. Just give me some cooldowns on the abilities. Let me fly forward. This is a great addition and a nice change up to one of the great features that was added to the game not too long ago, dynamic Skyriding. So cool stuff. Nice things coming at midnight. A lot to take in here. Hopefully we were able to summarize it well, and that is all in terms of news.